So if you ever find yourself caught right in the middle of a neon water gun fight in the sweltering heat of Thailand this April, you might not realize something kind of wild.
Oh yeah, the contrast between what you see and what it actually means is huge.
Right, because that entire chaotic street party is actually the result of like a ancient astrological glitch. I mean, picture the scene, right? The heat is absolutely oppressive.
It's that heavy shimmering.
Exactly, the kind that just radiates off the asphalt and practically hums in the air. And suddenly you are caught right in the middle of this massive, joyful chaos.
Like buckets of ice-cold water being splashed everywhere.
Yeah. Splashed from the backs of pickup trucks, the music is pounding, and everyone in the street is soaked to the bone. From the outside, it just looks like the ultimate spontaneous street party.
And for anyone just dropping into that scene, that is the defining image of Songkran. It looks like pure, modern, watery chaos.
But the stack of notes you gave us today paints a completely different picture.
It really does. We're looking at a text titled Songkran, the Sacred Fluidity of the Thai New Year. And, well, the mission for our deep dive today is to really pull back the curtain on that popular image.
Because there's so much more to it than just water guns.
Right. We want to guide you past those street parties, to unpack the deep astrological roots and the intensely intimate family rituals that actually drive this entire phenomenon.
Because the incredible thing about the materials you sent us is that they offer this masterclass in how ancient traditions don't just survive over centuries, they adapt.
They evolve to fit the needs of the people, yeah.
Exactly. We're going to trace a direct line from ancient astronomers tracking the stars to, like, a modern teenager pouring jasmine-scented water over their grandmother's hands. But before we look at a single drop of water, we actually have to look up at the sky.
Yeah, that's where the whole story begins.
Right. The text makes it clear that to understand why everyone is throwing water in April, you have to look at the linguistic origins of the festival.
And the word Songkran itself kind of holds the blueprint for that. It derives from an ancient Sanskrit word, Sankranti.
Which doesn't mean water.
Right. No, not at all.
Oh.
And it doesn't mean New Year either. It translates simply to stepping up or moving.
So it's about motion.
Exactly. In the ancient Brahmin Hindu tradition, this was the cosmic descriptor. It referred to the specific period when the sun moves into a new zodiac sign.
Okay, so it's essentially tracking the sun's journey across the sky. But the Thai festival isn't just celebrating any random Tuesday when the sun shifts.
No, the text specifies something called Maha Songkran.
The Great Songkran.
Right. Out of all the zodiac shifts throughout the year, this is the paramount milestone. It marks the precise mathematical moment when the sun shifts out of Pisces and crosses into Aries.
Which is a huge deal astrologically.
Oh, absolutely. In the ancient Brahmin Hindu worldview, this exact celestial movement from Pisces to Aries triggered the beginning of a new year.
And over in India, where these concepts originated, this astrological shift coincided perfectly with the arrival of spring, right?
Yes. It was a celebration of blooming crops, fresh breezes, and literal new beginnings. A classic spring festival.
I was thinking about this migration of culture as I was reading your notes, and it struck me that this ancient Brahmin Hindu festival is basically like early open source software.
Wait, I love that analogy. How so?
Well, the ancient ancestors essentially took this base code, right? The astrological significance of the sun moving from Pisces to Aries and the spiritual concept of a new year, and they migrated it from India over to Southeast Asia.
They downloaded the software to a new location.
Exactly, but there is a massive glitch in the system when you do that. The hardware of Southeast Asia doesn't match the software of India.
Oh, the environmental hardware is completely different.
It's totally mismatched.
Yeah, because in India you have that celestial movement aligning with a breezy, pleasant spring awakening. But in Southeast Asia, April is decidedly not spring.
Not even close.
No. April is famously the most brutally, relentlessly hot time of the entire year there. The temperatures regularly soar past 100 degrees.
So the system overheats. The software of a gentle spring festival just crashes when you try to run it during a scorching Southeast Asian April.
It completely crashes. People are trying to celebrate a spiritual renewal, but they are physically baking in the sun.
So what happens? The friction between the imported belief system and the local climate had to be intense.
It was. And the adaptation the ancestors made is just a brilliant example of cultural engineering. They kept the core metaphysical code, the sun moving into Aries, the turning over of the year, but they deliberately introduced water as a massive practical patch.
A literal cooling mechanism.
Exactly. They wove water into the very fabric of the ritual simply to help the community physically endure the blistering heat of the season.
They introduced it as a biological survival mechanism. It kept the hardware from melting down.
That's a perfect way to put it.
But, okay, so the climate forces this massive adaptation, but surviving the weather is just biology. It doesn't really explain the rest of the source material.
Right, the spiritual side.
Yeah, like how does a literal cooling mechanism evolve into the emotional, spiritual centerpiece of a family? The text outlines these early iterations of the water rituals, and they are a far cry from the violent street fights we see today.
They are very quiet, very intentional.
Yeah, the foundational practice mentioned here is called Songnam. And from the way it's described, they aren't treating this like, a spring cleaning chore to just dust off bronze statues.
Not at all. Songnam Frai is the practice of bathing Buddha statues, but the mechanics of the ritual are entirely symbolic.
It's about what the water represents.
Yes. When practitioners pour the water over the statue, the physical act of the water cascading down the bronze is meant to mirror the washing away of mental impurities.
Oh, wow. So it's an internal purification.
Exactly. The water cools the statue physically, but it symbolically cools the mind, leaving it bright, clear, and ready to face the complexities of the new year without the baggage of the old one.
That drastically shifts the sensory landscape of the festival for me. You go from the glaring heat of the street to this quiet, reflective, cool environment.
It's a complete change of pace.
And the ritual that really stood out in the notes is one called Rod Nam Dum Hua. The imagery here is incredibly vivid. Families aren't using tap water in a plastic bucket.
No, they take great care with it.
The younger family members prepare this clean, cool water, and they float fresh jasmine and rose petals on the surface. Then they take this fragrant water and pour it over the hands of their elders.
Radnam Dimhwa is really the emotional anchor of the traditional family Songkran. The sensory details you mentioned, the floral scent, the sudden coolness of the water against the skin, they serve a very specific psychological purpose.
To make it feel special.
To make it sacred.
Yeah.
They elevate the physical act into something distinct, marking a clear separation from the mundane heat outside.
I have a major question about the translation here, though, because this part tripped me up.
Oh, which part?
The text points out that the phrase dim hua is a northern Thai word originating from the LUNÉ culture, and it literally translates to washing hair.
That's right.
But wait, if the word literally means washing hair, why are we pouring water on their hands? Is it just like a symbolic compromise so the younger generation doesn't ruin grandma's hairdo?
Well, I mean, you're not totally wrong to joke about that. It is partly practical. But the linguistic fossil of washing hair tells us exactly how this ritual began and how much it has shifted over the centuries.
Okay, so it used to be literal.
Yes. In ancient LUNÉ culture, as well as broader Thai culture, the head is considered the highest, most sacred part of the human body, both physically and spiritually.
Right, and the feet are the lowest.
Conversely, yes, the feet are the lowest. So historically, washing hair was the ultimate metaphor and likely the literal practice for a total spiritual cleansing.
You wash the misfortune of the past year away from the very top of the body, letting it flow downward and away. So it started as a full head immersion. How do we get from a full body cleansing to a gentle pour over the hands?
Think about the practical mechanics of families expanding and the ritual becoming more formalized over generations. Pouring water over the head of a revered elder, especially an aging grandparent,
becomes physically intrusive.
Exactly. It's messy, it's potentially uncomfortable, and it lacks the subtle dignity that the culture places on respecting elders. The physical practice needed to adapt to become more gentle. So the hands became the proxy.
The hands make a lot of sense when you think about it generationally. These are the hands that built the family's life, the hands that cooked the meals, the hands that provided.
That is exactly the symbolism at play. Pouring the scented water over the hands of the elders is a profound act of humility.
Because you have to lower yourself.
Right. The younger generation lowers themselves, physically connecting with the older generation. And as they pour the water, the youth are formally, verbally asking for forgiveness for any wrongdoings, disrespect, or slights they may have committed over the past year.
It's a tangible physical manifestation of an apology. You aren't just saying sorry. You are physically washing away the friction between you and your parents or grandparents.
And the ritual is completely reciprocal. As the cool water flows over their hands, the elders bestow their blessings on the youth for the coming year.
Wow.
It operates as a spiritual reset button for the entire family unit. The physical washing has completely transcended the literal cleansing of hair. It has become an act of relational repair and spiritual renewal.
And understanding that intense focus on relational repair naturally forces us to look at how the holiday is actually scheduled.
The timeline is fascinating.
It really is. The source material outlines how Songkran uniquely structures time itself. This isn't a Western New Year's Eve where you watch a clock strike midnight, pop champagne, and instantly arrive in a new year.
No, it's not instantaneous at all.
The festival creates this distinct architecture of time, stretching the transition across 3 very specific, distinct days.
It's built like a bridge. You have a starting point, a crossing, and an arrival.
Okay, let's walk through that. Let's look at the timeline the text provides, starting with April 13th.
April 13th is Maha Songkran Day. This is the astrological starting line we discussed earlier, marking the sun's shift into Aries.
But what I found brilliant in your notes is how the modern Thai government decided to intertwine civic infrastructure with this ancient date. April 13th isn't just Maha Songkran, it is officially designated as National Elderly Day.
It is a deliberate civic reinforcement of a spiritual tradition.
It's so smart.
By legally mapping National Elderly Day on the first day of the new year, the society anchors the entire celebration in respect. The very first thing you do before celebrating the future is honor the people who built your past.
It sets a foundation of continuity.
Exactly.
Which brings us to the middle of the bridge, April 14th. The notes refer to this as One Now.
One Now is the liminal space. It is the day that connects the old year to the new year.
It's basically the crossing.
Right. Psychologically, it's a really fascinating concept. You have left the old year behind, but you haven't fully arrived in the future yet. You are suspended in transit.
And fittingly, the government designated this middle bridge day as National Family Day.
They did, but...
Wait, I have to bring up the ancient belief tied to One Now because it sounds like the ultimate psychological endurance test.
Oh, the no arguing rule.
Yes. The text notes that traditionally, on April 14th, it is strictly forbidden to speak badly, curse, or argue with anyone. A day of mandated peace to ensure a smooth transition.
That's Akbar.
A mandatory no arguing rule on National Family Day. I mean, anyone who has ever been to a holiday dinner knows that is the ultimate generational test of endurance. You have aunts, uncles, cousins, and in-laws all crammed into a house together, and the strict rule is 0 negativity for 24 hours.
It sounds nearly impossible in practice, but the stakes of that mandate are what make it so important.
Why? What happens if you break it?
Well, in the traditional worldview, One Now isn't just about being polite, it's about contamination. The belief is that whatever energy you hold while crossing this temporal bridge will dictate the energy of your entire coming year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. If you lose your temper, if you carry bitterness, or start an argument on One Now, you are dragging the bad luck of the past year right across the threshold into the new one. You contaminate the fresh start.
That heavily raises the stakes. It's not just be nice to your brother, it's if you yell at your brother today, you ruin the next 12 months for yourself.
Exactly. It forces an incredible amount of mindfulness. It forces families to actively swallow their pride and choose harmony, even when the house is crowded and the heat is unbearable, before they're allowed to step into the new year.
Which is how you finally reach April 15th, one following sock.
One following sock.
The arrival.
The finish line. This is the day of fully entering the new year. The transition is complete. You honor the elders on the 13th. You navigated the psychological tightrope of family harmony on the 14th.
The old is washed away.
Exactly. The old is washed away, the blessings have been received, the bridge has been successfully crossed. You are now standing in a brand new chapter.
And when you look at that chronological evolution over those 3 days, you can actually see the mechanics of how the water itself evolved alongside the culture.
You really can see the scale change.
Right. You start with the deeply intimate, quiet moments pouring the jasmine water over the elders' hands to ask for forgiveness. But then the youth take that same water, that same concept of transferring coolness out into the community.
The circle of blessing expands. The youth move from the living room to the neighborhood, gently sprinkling water on their peers and extended family members to share that physical freshness during the unbearable heat.
And as the cities grew, right, as the population exploded and the community expanded, that sprinkling bloomed into the massive, joyful, citywide water fights of the modern era.
It just grew with the society.
Yeah. The neon water guns and the pickup trucks didn't erase the sacredness of the water, they just scaled it up. The core objective transferring coolness, washing away the bad, and sharing communal joy remained entirely intact. It just took on a much louder, more exuberant form as the society modernized.
It really is a seamless blending of ancient astrological reverence with modern, joyful community building. And, this incredibly successful evolution has recently been validated on a global scale.
Oh, right, the UNESCO thing.
Yeah, the notes highlight a very specific milestone from December 6, 2023. On that day, UNESCO officially inscribed Songkran in Thailand as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity.
That designation is huge. I mean, UNESCO doesn't just hand out intangible cultural heritage status because a country throws a great street party.
No, they definitely do not. They grant it because they recognize the underlying mechanics of social cohesion. The UNESCO inscription validates that Songkran isn't just a festival, it is a vital, living tool for human connection.
It's about bringing people together.
Exactly. It recognizes the enduring transfer of coolness, both the literal physical relief from the climate and the profound spiritual peace of mind transferred from generation to generation.
It acknowledges that the ability to adapt a Brahmin spring festival into a LUNÉ family apology and then scale it into a global symbol of renewal is basically a triumph of human ingenuity.
It absolutely is.
It's an incredible testament to the resilience of the culture. So if you look at the stack of notes you gave us, the journey is just astounding.
It covers so much ground.
We started by looking up at the night sky, tracing an ancient Sanskrit word for a solar movement as it migrated from India over to Southeast Asia. We saw how a scorching 100-degree climate forced a brilliant software patch, turning a spring festival into a life-saving water ritual.
It went right inside the home to smell the jasmine and rose petals.
Yeah, as the younger generation humbled themselves, asking for forgiveness and physically washing away the friction of the past year, we crossed the psychological tightrope of the 3-day bridge. And finally, we saw how that intimate family blessing expanded outward, scaling up into a UNESCO-celebrated festival of joyful global renewal.
It is a remarkable trajectory to trace. And as we wrap up this analysis of your sources, there's one particular mechanism within the Songkran tradition that offers a really fascinating challenge for all of us, regardless of where we live or what cultural traditions we observe.
Oh, I like a challenge. Lay it on us.
It goes back to the mechanics of One Now, that liminal bridge day on April 14th.
The day you're not allowed to argue.
Right. In our own fast-paced modern lives, we rarely allow ourselves a One Now. We rush frantically from one year right into the next.
We really do.
We jump from one stressful job to the next, one relationship to the next, one chaotic week right into another. We are constantly in motion, dragging the unwashed baggage and the friction of yesterday straight into tomorrow.
There is zero suspension in transit. We never pause on the bridge.
We never pause. But what if we did? What if you consciously engineered your own personal One Eye? A dedicated, mindful pause. A true liminal space between your own endings and beginnings, where negativity, bitterness, and carrying old arguments are strictly forbidden.
Just a total reset.
Exactly. If you intentionally carved out a temporal bridge where only forgiveness and fresh intentions were allowed to cross over, how would that change the way you step into your own new chapters?
Wow. That is a profound question to carry with you.
Yeah.
So the next time you find yourself caught in the heat of a chaotic moment, maybe not a literal neon water fight in the streets of Thailand, but the overwhelming daily chaos of your own life, remember that there might just be a hidden sacred opportunity to pause, to wash away the past, and to start completely fresh. Thank you so much for sharing these sources and joining us on this deep dive. Stay curious, and we will catch you next time.